Good day, everybody. Today we're going to do lesson plan 13, grade 4, term 2, and we focus on conversions. The link is then to worksheet 42 in the DBE book. Just going to show you. Remember that you can also do worksheet 41 in the previous lesson as a homework activity, or as a practical activity in the classroom, or you can do it as an introduction activity to worksheet number 42. So let's quickly go back to the lesson plan. So here we've got our link to the CAPS. Then again is what you have is you have your resources, some quotes, some ideas, and then what we have is we have our dictionary words for today is length and conversions. I want you to pause and go through this. Then we're going to come to the times tables for today, or the mental maths. These are mixed ones. So you're going to pause, do the 10 questions, come back, and you're going to mark it. So I'm revealing the answers. Okay, let's then carry on with today's lesson. So we're going to talk about conversions. We already informally touched on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask the learners, we're going to give them a ruler and ask them to show you where's 3 centimeters. Then they can see on the ruler that there's 3 centimeters, and ask them then to show you on the ruler what will it be in millimeters. So in millimeters, it will then be 30 millimeters. Ask the learners then to find 65 millimeters on the ruler. What will this be in centimeters? So it will be 6 centimeters in 5 millimeters. Or we can say 6.5 centimeters. So it's already that we've done before. You can always use this lesson, and you can move it to before lesson 11. So it depends on, because first we started with informal work, but sometimes because of the learner's knowledge, we need to use this lesson, swap it with lesson number 11. Then what we need to remember is we need to remember that 10 millimeter equals to 1 centimeter, 100 centimeters equals to 1 meter, 1,000 millimeters to 1 meter, and 1,000 meters to 1 kilometer. I want you to pause here and then do similar activities using the ruler. Okay, so what we did now is we introduced the lesson by using the ruler. So we're still going to carry on with some practical activities, such as 35 millimeters equals to 3 centimeters and 5 millimeters, or 3.5 centimeters. Again, as learners show those on the ruler. So do then the few more examples like 15, 25, and 5 millimeters. I want you to pause and do example number 1. Okay, welcome back. So the next one, we're going to use a tape measure. Tape measures aren't so expensive, and it's a very good activity for learners where they can work in groups at home. You can work with your child or with other sibling. You will find that learners just simply love to measure things. If you first start, they're not going to stop, I promise you. So let's quickly see 526 centimeters. So what we have is on the tape measure, we will see it's 5 meters and 26 centimeters. So we're going to show it to them, and tell them that we can also say 526 centimeters, because there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So what I want you to do is do this part, and then you're going to do more examples, for instance, like 265, 389, and 412 centimeters. I want you to pause here and do this activity practically. Okay, so the next example that we're going to do, it's not always so we can't always do it so practically because of the distance, but what you can do is you can just make use of a number line. Maybe you can let them feel what is a kilometer by walking so many times around the sport field, or when you're at home and you can go outside, let them walk a kilometer so they can have a feel of what is a kilometer. So we got 2,500 meters, so we can write it as 2 kilometers and 500 meters. So tell the learners that 2 kilometers and 500 meters can be written as 2,500 meters because 1 kilometer equals to 1,000 meters. So then what you're going to do is you're going to do more examples. I want you then to pause and do these. So then example number 4 is where we have 4.5 kilometers. It's 4,500 meters. Again, is what I suggest is to draw a number line on the board. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say, what is half of 1,000 meters? So here we got 1,000 meters. So what it is, it's 500 meters. So we can say that 500 meters is half because it's half of this section from the 0 to the 1,000. And then we can write it as 4,500 meters as 4.5 kilometers. I want you to pause here and then do example number 4. So welcome back. So it's time now to do the activity, the worksheet. Again, try to keep it as practical as well and make use of your measuring instruments to answer the questions. Then you're going to do your problem solving. Remember again here is identify your numbers, what operation you're going to use, and then also if there are any characters. Then again, example coming from old test paper. Ask the learners questions like this. Why did they put the pencil down there? What is the more effective way to measure the pencil? And so on. They did this to make the learners think. So then we're going to go to the consolidation. If you've got all yeses, we carry on with the next lesson. If you've got no's, we revisit certain concepts, questions, activities, or you contact us at SA Teacher.